Good morning, everyone. It's Pastor Tim Hammye, First Assembly of God in Burlington, Kansas. It's June the 13th. It is Wednesday, and we have church tonight. We have Bible study, we have youth, we have children, something for everyone. So come out and join us. Corner of 9th and Yuba here in Burlington, Kansas, Coffee County, 416 South 9th. 6 o'clock, there's a meal for kids, and there's usually stuff left over for the adults. But God has something good for you. So come out and join us at 6:30 for Bible study, youth, and children's, but there's supper at 6. So we're talking about forgiveness, and we're going through the discussion. We talked about Luke 15. We're dissecting Luke 15, and where the prodigal son left home with his inheritance, spent it all, and spent it all on frivolous living, and realized where he was eating with the pigs, realizing that his father, being even the father's servant, he had it good. Even the servants had it good. So here's the deal. We're at the point in this parable that he was coming home, and all of a sudden the father seen him afar off, and the father came running after the son. And here's the deal, is the father took off running. And you got to remember, back in the day, they wore robes. So I love it. I can't remember where I heard this or I read it, that at this point, the father had to kick off his sandals, hike up his robe, and ran after to his son, and embraced his son, and hugged his son, and loved him. And not only did he hug his son and love his son, he went out and called and says, "Kill the fatted calf. We're going to party tonight." So I suggested to you that if you are far from the Lord, the Father wants you back into have a relationship with you. So the second thing I want to encourage you to realize in this is that the father ran to him. Can you picture it? The father hiking up his robe to run after his son. How encouraging. See, no matter what you have done, and no matter what has taken place in your life, how far you have been or how far you've removed yourself from, the Lord loves you. Just like the prodigal son, the father still loves unconditionally. The father still loves you, and he still... See, here's the deal. Who left? The son left. We leave the father. The father has never left us. We turn our back on him. The father does not see you ruin. He sees your response. When we ruin our life, the very fact is, he sees our response. He's seen the son come back. He sees us return. So friend, our response is to return. Our response is to love him. Our response is to say, "God, I need you." It's so key. And what's the response? Is to restore him. When the son says, "I have sinned against heaven and you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. I am only worthy to be called your servant." He doesn't say, "Oh, you're a servant." No, he restores him. In fact, he puts a ring on his finger and kills the fatted calf, and he parties. So maybe this is where you're at. Maybe yesterday you didn't say, "God, I need to come back." Maybe you're at this point saying, "Man, so can I just challenge you right at this moment? Just stop and bow your knee and say, 'Jesus, I need you. I'm done fighting. I'm done running. I'm going to make a response, and I'm going to come to you.'" You might be like that prodigal son and say, "I need you." I just want to challenge you with that. Here are 3 signs that you might be like the older brother. See, the older brother got ticked off because the father just accepted him back. But the older brother was ticked. So let me just share some things that you might be like the older brother parable. You question when someone repents. You say something like, "We will see if he responds." When someone repents, you would rather critique than celebrate. You would rather find a reason not to celebrate than a reason to. Number three, you would try to understand the Father's heart for another person. So just think about it. If you can't celebrate when someone recommits their life to the Lord, you might be like that older brother and say, they're just going to go back to the way they are. No, man, celebrate when someone repents, when someone gets their life right with the Lord. Don't be the cynic or the critic. Be the cheerleader that celebrates with that person. So let me pray for you. Lord, I thank you so much for those who are watching now and those who will watch later. Encourage their heart, Lord. I thank you so much in your name. Amen. God bless you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We're going to complete this study on forgiveness tomorrow.